I think that like in today's culture, everything's pretty much acceptable on Snapchat.
Well, I mean, it's just like, if you don't want it to be seen, don't do it, you know? So if you do it, then in this day and age, someone's bound to record something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Road Dogs. My name is Samuel Lin, aka King Yan Lin, and I am your local freelance multifaceted specialist. And with me today is
Vivian. Hi, I'm Vivian Hong. My Instagram is Vimichi with 2 I's at the end. I'm a SoCal cosplayer, and I basically also, my daytime job is that I work in production for a denim company. Yeah, a little in the fashion industry, but more like apparel industry, not fashion, but you know, it all sounds the same.
And today we are going to talk about social media and its effects on basically our society today, especially here in the 626, and the influence that it creates over
the generation.
Yeah, the current generation, the current society. Yeah. I mean, myself included. I feel like I'm also a slave to social media, especially always like checking how my engagement is going, making sure that this post doesn't flop or that video is getting some sort of view, some here. Like it becomes a part of your actual like job when you start to like worry about it a lot. Yeah,
it's kind of like validation that you seek from social media, like likes, people who actually, you know, like engagement. Yeah, so it's basically like just validation ultimately.
Yeah. And it's crazy how vain all of us are.
Yeah. How we seek validation from other people, when the most validation you should ever really have is yourself.
Yeah.
Validating yourself.
Yeah.
Can't love anybody if you don't love yourself first, right?
It's true. It's true. As much as I hate hearing that, it's still true. Yeah, at the end of the day, 1,000 people can like you, but 1,000 people can like genuinely love you. But if you don't love yourself, you'll never really feel it. We were talking earlier about like the ABG culture, right? And I think that was born from like the import model scene, which is more my generation-ish, right? The generation that's a little on the like 90s kids who created like came here and wanted to like impact the model scene, but didn't really have a pocket for it, so it was the import cars, right?
Yes.
And so, but like now the import model scene is not as like big, and so now we have like the Instagram model scene, and so
influencers.
I feel like the ABG culture was created from the import, so it was like this chain reaction.
Oh yeah.
And now everyone wants to be that way.
Yeah.
Right. Even though they don't really know why, they just want to be desired in that fashion.
Yeah.
And then the current like cool Asian guy, or as you said earlier, fuckboy, is derived from like the AZNs. Right?
Yeah.
The guys that were with the import models, the guys who had the cars, or the guys that were part of the gangs, even though the gangs aren't even a thing anymore, really. Watch, I'm gonna be on some hit list for saying that. But no, the truth is, most of the gang heads are dead, right? Why is Chinatown a hipster town anymore? Because the guy got assassinated, and I can freely say that.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's all an inside job.
Yeah. That's why Chinatown's safe now. Before, no one dared go to Chinatown. Now everyone is taking cameras and just going ham at the buildings.
Like oh, this is me with their like GoPros and right walking
around
Chinatown.
And it's a great photo op, but
true.
You realize that didn't happen back then because it was not safe to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because he's literally dead. It's white hipster town now. Right? True. So it's but that's what we were created from. It's pretty crazy. Like that's what the ABC culture, the current ABC culture, at least here in LA, here in 626, is from. I'm gonna bleep out this name, but you know Cafe?
Yeah.
Okay. Cafe was a main spot that was not okay back then.
Really?
Right? It got shot up maybe every other month.
Dude, I used to go there a lot.
Yeah. It got shot up like every
I didn't
other
know
month.
that it got shot up every month. Like,
Yeah, they tried. They would fix it up. They would try to change the name.
That's
they would
why
try
the
to
name
change
would
the-
always change.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's, did not know that.
Well, you were safe by luck.
Oh, yeah. See, what did I tell you? Luck. It's just luck. But I can't strive on that.
Yeah, no, like it's pretty crazy because it's like now, like I could walk down the street with like $500 in my pocket, and I'd be more worried about a homeless person jumping me than getting jumped by a gang.
Yeah.
All right, this culture is created from something that isn't really even alive anymore. And that's what's most jarring to me, right? This Asian movement and this import model movement, both of them are pretty much dead.
Yeah, not just that, but then like because of where it stemmed from, like, and all this expectation of where people like, oh, I need to be like this, or I need to be like that, or like I want to be like that because they think, you know, everything's like glam. I feel like I think this is where kind of people draws the line. Like you got the people who strive for that, and then you got the people who actually, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, people actually go to school. No, like don't get me wrong, there's like plenty of people who have done a lot of successful things, you know, in like business and marketing, and you don't need a degree, you know, but like I feel like a lot of people, you know, like I get it, you want to be a social influencer, you know, like get free stuff, I want to be Jenem, you know, like who doesn't want to be Jenem? But like that's besides the point. Like she's being she's like a YouTuber influencer,
okay.
you know.
Got it.
And but the thing is, like, you know, you when you do things like that, influencers are trying to influence you to be kind of, I like to say, better people.
Yes.
You know, you got like I said, you got people like Jenem, like who starts her own clothing line with like, you know, like trying to support like her clothing, like trying to move forward with things like that. And then you got the people who just kind of like, oh, I'm pretty, like send me free clothes.
The influencer idea, you know, it had this intention of like influencing people.
Yeah, like people
in a good way,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then all of a sudden, everyone wants to be an influencer without actually understanding the meaning of the word. I think, like they just want to be known, and they feel like, oh, but there's weight behind that word. I feel like if you want to be this role model, let that.
Influencers are essentially role models. Yeah, there you go. That's a perfect way to describe it.
Yeah, let that idea reign over your life. You don't want someone to see you that looks up to you in that manner and see you as something different all of a sudden and just have their dreams crushed.
Yeah.
And maybe in that aspect, I'm also like putting my principles and my morals on other people. But I think that a genuine basis of right and wrong and how we should show the younger generation to act is pretty like clear.
Honestly, I feel like drama only starts from like social media.
Yeah.
Now that I really think about it, it's just social media's fault.
Well, I think social media is the fault of a lot of things, to be fair. But I feel like social media is definitely a big part of what spreads it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because like there are so many times where I've been with someone and they're looking at someone's Instagram story or Snapchat or something, and they're like, look at that person, she is or he is so fake, you know. And it's just like, one, I don't really know that person that you're talking about. Two,
why?
That's harsh.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Why?
Yeah. Whether or not they explain it is their own prerogative. Whoever is being talked to, or in whatever situation, should have their own opportunity to make their own judgments.
Yes.
And I feel like social media removes that because everyone's life becomes so public.
Yes.
Or at least a facet of everyone's life becomes so public. It removes the need to really get to know people.
Yes.
Right? And I think that's...
And then assumptions are made, and then you start thinking, oh, they post this, therefore they are this, but it might not necessarily be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what you see.
It's
I think it's just people being judgy.
Yeah.
626 is judgy. We're very judgmental of each other. We don't give each other enough empathy.
So I went to Michigan at one point, a couple months back, and I had no access to the internet while I was there. And to be honest, I thought it was gonna freak me out, but it was pretty like
liberating.
Yeah, I mean, there was a times where I was like pulling out my phone for no good reason, and then I'd be like, wait, and put it back in my pocket. But it's pretty impressive. Like it's pretty amazing to just be free of
Yeah,
social, like
you're not a slave to your phone.
yeah, and technology and
I'm really guilty of that. I'm on my phone like a lot. Like,
yes. I mean too.
Yeah.
It's just like I think the culture kind of perpetuates it, or the culture encourages it,
yes.
because we
Hide behind a screen.
yeah, to be fair, like I think Wall-E got it really right.
Who? Oh
Wall-E?
yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think that's where we're
I
headed.
do not want to end up in a chair like that.
I mean, we're gonna be dead by that point, hopefully.
True.
Hopefully it won't be that
Hopefully
fast.
Yeah, hopefully it won't survive.
We'll be dead.
Yeah.
But
Morbid.
you know, the future generations, I think it will genuinely happen. I feel like people are gonna be in a chair and not actually even ever know who the person next to them looks like. I think the most poignant part of the movie for me is when the chairs turn off, right?
Yeah.
And there's this man and this lady, and they look at each other like, oh, and it's supposed to be funny because they're like, wow, another human being, and they're like, oh, they smile at each other and then get flirtatious for a second. But I think it's poignant because it's like they've been next to each other their entire lives, right?
True.
But they've never seen each other.
Because they're glued to their phones.
Yeah, it's just pretty crazy to me because I feel like that's kind of where we're going in life. Because like, oh, for example, I think generations before us, like just our parents' generation, like not even that long ago, you know, everyone in the neighborhood knew each other.
Yeah.
Right? Neighbors looked out for each other, looked out for each other's kids. I don't know who my neighbor is now, and I share a wall with them. Right? I live in a townhome, by the way, so I have no idea who they are. Sometimes when I pass them, I wave at them, but if I saw them on the street, I wouldn't recognize them. I don't know their names, right?
True.
It's crazy because these are people that you share a street with. These are people that you
share a building with.
Yeah, and you have no idea who they are because you have no need. Right, back then it was a need, a necessity, or like a desire for social. Well, like there's a social desire to know your neighbors as well. Now
But now
you
it's
get
like
all that.
there's too much access, like social access. It's just like it's gone past the point of knowing just enough to be safe.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's just like it's too much information.
Everything is just too efficient. Like technically, if I didn't need to eat, if I didn't need to sleep, if I didn't need to go to the bathroom, I could just stay in my bed and stare at the phone for my entire life.
Yeah.
Right, because
Done that
it's
for
an
2 hours
endless.
before. It was crazy.
I think I've done it for longer than that. And there are people who do it for even longer than that. Like some people like stay up all night. That's a main reason why sometimes I can't sleep. Like I'll try to toss and turn for a bit, have like 1,000 thoughts running through my head. Like I'm terrible at sleeping in general. And then I'll pick up my phone and just stare at it for the next couple hours and just be like, oh,
And then you
I was supposed to be
realize
asleep a couple hours ago,
Yeah.
right? I have to wake up at
social media.
6 or 7 a.m.
It's just like, what is everybody doing? Like, like validation.
Let's perpetuate FOMO now.
Yeah.
FOMO is a huge aspect of social media.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna lie, I am completely guilty,
A FOMO.
not just of FOMO, of purposely inducing FOMO. Like if there's someone I don't really like, and I know that they look at my story, I'll put stuff out there of me having a great time. And
Oh yeah. I feel like social media influencers, like, you know, like they always look like they're having fun. They always look like great. They look this, they look that. And sometimes I think people, when they put so much of that FOMO, you know, like feeling of missing out into that aspect, like, oh, what is this person doing? What is that person doing? Like, how come my life is not as exciting, you know? And then I feel like a lot of that kind of stems into like unhealthy behaviors. And then it kind of really affects people, like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, like, I'm not doing oh, you're not doing anything this weekend? Oh, well,
I saw that you were.
Yeah. And it's just like,
there are select people in my life that feel FOMO a little more than other people.
yeah.
Then they'll come up to me and they'll be like, so how was this the other day? Like very accusingly, like,
Yeah, like,
you
why are
didn't
you
invite
having
me.
more
Yeah.
fun than I am?
yeah,
It's
why
just
didn't
like,
you
yeah.
invite me? TFTI, blah, blah, blah. So when I came up with this idea of this whole setup and this shoot, and Road Dogs as a vlog in general, I started asking people who weren't really like influencers or just people who weren't that big into social media, or weren't even like trying to be that big in social media. One of them asked me, "Why did you ask me to do this?" Well, nobody really cares about my opinion, and I told them, like, that's where I believe things are wrong, right? Because everyone has an opinion, because everyone has their own story. Whether or not the opinion is right or wrong is a whole different thing, but everyone has an opinion that needs to be, or should be covered. And I feel that there's a lot to be learned by voices that aren't usually heard. The problem is that the influencer market, or the influencer idea, the problem with it is that it has stifled the general opinion and made these people into demigods, basically. Made these people as holier than holy, and we can only listen to them because they are our everything. But as far as influencers are concerned, they're normal human beings. They make mistakes. They have flaws.
They're put on a pedestal.
Yeah. And just because of that pedestal, people will listen to them more than they'll listen to others. And I think that's honestly a flaw.
I think it's ultimately the message that you want to be putting out. Like, I think one person that's a good example is, I don't know if you know of her, but from Head to Toe. I think she was like a beauty blogger, like, for some time in, like, I forgot where, somewhere in, like, middle America. And, you know, like, positive vibes, you know, like, oh, like, kind of like encouraging other people to be like, you know, like, go out there and do what you want, be happy, you know, like, strive for things like that. And then now, flash forward to nowadays, people are doing that.
Yeah. But
not so much, like, to spread the same message, but more so for themselves.
Yes.
And I think that's what kind of, like, separates the influencer lifestyle market now.
Because that didn't used to be a term at all.
Yeah.
Like,
like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I didn't even use the word influence that often.
Yeah.
Now it's just like rolls off the tongue, social media influencer.
Yeah.
Influencer. You want to be an influencer.
And while it's a very positive term, well, depending how it's used, I just feel like it's been so saturated that it has no more weight.
Like, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of social media influencer friends, you know, and, like, I love them to bits, and, like, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing, but it really is different nowadays.
Yes.
Same thing as what idols do. They're essentially, like what you said, they're essentially idols. And sometimes, like, I feel like it's not genuine anymore. That's all.
Anyways, I believe we covered a lot today.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. I think that's all the time we have for today. So, with that said,
I'm Vivian.
And I am Sam. Please don't serve us eggs and ham.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Set my heart afire.
Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in today, and hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you guys liked this and want to see more of it, be sure to like and subscribe. Also, if you guys have any ideas of topics that you'd like to discuss, be sure to let me know down in the comments below. Love you guys, and see you next time.